Welcome back to the channel, everyone, for another ESO build video. I'm Fuzzy Juggernaut. Today I'll be showing you my Bow Bow Stam DK build for the Stonethorn patch. But first, before we get into the build, if you like this video or the content on this channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and push that notification bell to get the latest content from this channel. Now let's get into it. This is a Bow Bow build with a great balance between some extremely nasty dots and direct damage. We have good survivability and sustain due to the fact that we're a Dragonite and the passives that they have. You can play this build in non-CP and in CP. It also works really well in solo or group. Overall, this build is a lot of fun, but it does take some getting used to, and it's not for everyone. Now, having said all that, if you like kiting around while doing great damage, being mobile, and using bows, then this build is for you. Also, the actual gameplay will be at the end of the video, so make sure you watch till the end to see the build in action. But enough talk, let's hop into the build. Alright, so let's hop into the character sheet now. I'm going to try to make this video fast so you can pause the stat sheets and certain things if you want to see all the numbers and everything, but this is us unbuffed on our main bar. Then buffed up. We're sitting at 4277 weapon damage with 45% weapon critical, which is really nice. It's not the best, but it is really nice for Bow Bow. And then we have almost 22,000 spell resistance and 18.5 physical resistance. So it's not bad. We have decent regen on our stamina and good stat pools. Like I said, you can pause the video if you want to get a look at the stats. I'm running 9 health, 55 into stamina. You can run however you'd like. This build's just a template. I have the warrior. You can run whatever Mundus you would like. Then I'm running Artaeum takeaway broth for food. You can run Bewitched sugar skulls. I run both depending on what situations I'm in and where I'm going. You can also run Dubious Cannon Throne too if you want for cheaper food. It's purple. It's going to give you recoveries and health and stamina. Or you can run a tri-stat food if you want a purple one. It's completely up to you, whatever you can afford. We are Imperial on this for our race, and I'll go into that in a minute with the skills and stats and all that stuff, but I really highly recommend Imperial for this. It works really well. Now let's go into our inventory, check out our pots real quick. So I'm running the Crown tripods. You can run the Essence of Health tripods that you can craft yourself if you would like. Either one works. Just make sure you get some tri-stat pots. We don't need weapon damage or weapon crit pots for this build because one of our skills on our bars we're using gives us that, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you get some tripods. For our first set, we're going to be running Bow of the Morag Tong, and this is going to be on our front bar. This is increased weapon damage enchantment with precise. You can put whatever you'd like on this. This is actually going to be our back bar for healing and buffs. This set's going to give us weapon damage, stamina, weapon damage, and then when you deal direct damage, you cause the enemy to take 10% more damage from poison and disease attacks for 4 or 5 seconds. Overall, it's going to boost our dots really, really high. Our second weapon on the back bar is going to be a Bow of Morag Tong too. This is actually my primary bow that I use. This is Nirnhone. You can actually use Sharpen. Sharpen works really well also. I just haven't transmutated this back. And honestly, I might leave it this way. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We're running a poison damage enchantment, so this is our primary damaging bar. You can run Sharpen though, like I said. It's completely up to you. This build is just a template. For our monster set, this is going to be Engine Guardian. Now you can run Troll Kings for the healing and healing done and all that, or you can run Ballogs for more damage when you use your ultis. It's completely up to you. I chose to go with Engine Guardian. It suits me best. I like it a lot. It procs quite often, and it really helps for survivability in all areas in our Magicka, stamina, and health because it can give us any one of those back. The only crappy part is that you don't know which one you're getting, but still, it normally comes in handy a lot. So it's up to you, whatever you'd like to run. This gives us health recovery, and then when you use an ability, you have a 25% chance to summon a Dwarmer automation to restore 531 stamina or magicka or 2075 health to you every 0.5 seconds for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. Like I said, I like this set a lot. You don't have to use it though. This is well fitted. For our second set, we're going to be using Deadly Strike. I have reinforced on this, is on the chest. If you do go reinforced, make sure you go for chest and legs. That will be ultimately your best. And then on the helmet and the shoulders, we have well fitted, and then the rest are in pen. Anyways, this set has a stamina enchant on it. Preferably, you'd like to max all these stamina enchantments out. I have golden ones on here. I just haven't done it yet. But this set's going to give us damage, weapon critical damage, and then increase the damage your physical, bleed, poison, and disease damage over time, and channeled abilities do by 20%. So this is really good because it stacks very well with Morag Tong. Both these sets giving us increase of 30% poison damage to our targets. And since our dots are ticking continuously every 1 second on the target, it's always doing damage, and it's going to be proccing Morag Tong and this constantly. It's a really good balance between dots and our direct damage attacks. Shoulders, this is well fitted, tri-stat enchant on it. Waist is Morag Tong, impenetrable, stamina enchant. Stamina enchant on the gloves, Morag Tong, impenetrable. Deadly Strike pants with reinforced stamina enchant, and then boots of Morag Tong, impenetrable, stamina enchant. Then for our jewelry, we have all Deadly Strike golded jewelry. You don't have to have gold. You can get purple or whatever. I have 2 infused with weapon damages on them. Then I have 1 robust with stamina recovery on here. These work really well. You can switch these around how you'd like, but we really want to get across that 4K damage, especially with the bow. 4-3 is just barely enough, in my opinion. I would like to have a little more, but this build still hits really hard. And with the dots and the direct damage, it's a really good balance of both. So it's up to you. If you want to go for another infused, you could definitely get away with that and have way more increased damage, but you'll lose a little more sustainability. But since we have really good passives from the DK, which I'll get into in a second, right here, it works really well. So if we go down to right here, decrease the cost of your stamina poison abilities by 25%. That is amazing. That decreases the cost of all of our abilities, which are all our bow abilities and our damage abilities by our DK. And then, because we use some magic abilities on here on our back bar, we get a lot of more stamina back. When you cast a non-stamina casting Earth and Heart ability, you restore 990 stamina, almost 1,000 stamina every time we use that. Which I'll get into in a minute with these abilities, but overall, we have really good resource sustain on here, and our abilities cost us like next to nothing compared to other characters and classes. And like I said, we're Imperial, so you stack that with, where is it? Right here. You get 2,000 stamina, health, but you stack that, reduce the cost of all your abilities by 3%, which is really nice. And then we get health and stamina and magicka back every 5 seconds while we deal direct damage, which we're constantly doing. Go up to our skills. I'm trying to make this short, so if you need to pause the video, that's fine. For our first, on our primary bar, which we're going to be using is our damage bar. We're going to be using Noxious Breath. This is a really nice dot and direct damage also, so this is going to give us major fracture to the target, which will reduce their physical resistance by 5,280. This is really nice to have. It costs next to nothing, like I said, 1879 stamina, really cheap. Venomous Claw is going to be our next one. This is only 1590 stamina. This is going to do some damage, initial and then poison damage over the period of 14 seconds. This is really nice also. These 2 dots stack really well with our other dots from our bow. Then we have Camouflage Hunter. This is really nice. This gives us our crit, and then it also gives us our minor berserk just for having it on here and hitting from the side or back area. Either way, sometimes you're face tanking them or in the front of everyone, so it's not going to always work like that, but you will always get the critical from this, having it slotted. Then our next ability is going to be Lethal Arrow. This is going to be your main ability that you're going to start off with. The reason being is the tooltip looks low right now, but when we're fully buffed up, it goes up a lot higher. But the main reason you want to start off with this and weave it in a couple times if they're really tanky targets is because it's going to put Minor Defile on your target, which reduces their healing received and health recovery by 18% for 4 seconds. Stacked with Befoul and our champion points, this thing's really nasty, and it's going to decrease the healing that they can do on themselves and anyone else. And it really helps, especially when our dots are burning on them all at once too, seeping in with the poison. Then our next ability is going to be Acid Spray. This is a really good direct damage attack along with a good damage over time, over 4 seconds. You can spam these two if you want. I try not to spam lethal arrow as much. People get all annoyed about that, but we ain't on a stand blade either. We're not ganking people, like we're out in the open, up in their face. So you can play it how you like. Then I have Dawnbreaker on here. You can run other ultis on here if you want. The reason I run Dawnbreaker and Camouflage Hunter is from the Fighters Guild passive. This is going to give us the increased damages, which puts us to almost 4,300 weapon damage. I think it's really crucial and important to have that, but you can run other stuff if you want here and take away a little damage. Like I said, the build is just a template. For our back bar, we're going to be running Resolving Vigor. This actually goes to 17k tooltip when we're fully buffed up. Depending on what you have, if you take resources too, it'll actually go even higher. This is our heal. It's a heal over time, over 4 seconds, but stacked with Igneous Shield also. It heals pretty fast, so you're going to pop this and then hit your Igneous Shield. Igneous Shield is really nice, costs Magicka, which in turn will actually give us 1,000 stamina back when we cast this. Gives us a damage shield, and then also we get Major Mending, increasing your healing done by 25% for 3 seconds, which is going to increase our Resolving Vigor heal. So you're going to pop this, 1 second's going to go by, the last 3 seconds of that heal is going to be increased, and it's actually really nice. It pops out really good heals for us. So, and it's only 26-25. For our next ability is going to be Hardened Armor. This is another good ability. This is just going to increase our physical and spell resistances, and it gives us a damage shield, which is nice. It's not a huge damage shield, but it's something and it helps out. Our next ability is going to be Poison Injection. This is going to be sort of our execute. This is only 1458, so all of our stamina abilities are super low right now due to the passives that we have, both being Imperial and having the Dragonite passive, so it works really, really well. But this is our execute, going to do some initial damage, and then it's going to have additional poison damage over 10 seconds, and then deals up to 100% more damage to enemies under 50% health, so it's pretty much our execute. Then our next ability is going to be Igneous Weapons. The reason I'm running this is because we get Minor and Major Brutality, but we get that from any of the passives from Earth and Heart ability besides the Major. But the reason I run this solely is because we get almost a minute of the increased weapon damage, which is really nice, and it increases everyone around you, including, I normally play with like 1 friend to 2 friends or by myself, but it's nice to buff everyone around us, and the fact that we can have it on a bow bar. You don't have to run this. You can run something else, but it allows us to run tri-stat pots, and then that's why I run Engine Guardian also. So we actually do have a lot of resource management, and it's really good. But you don't have to run this if you don't want to. And then our last ability is going to be Take Flight on the back bar. You can put whatever you'd like here, undo, whatever. It's completely up to you. I just threw this on the back bar just for sort of a gap closing thing if I need it. It's cheap. Now we'll head over into our champion points. This is just a template, like I said, so you can put your points however you see fit. I'm just showing you how I run mine. So I have 40 into Warlord, 13 into Sprinter, 27 into Arcanist, 64 into Mooncalf, 44 into Befoul, which actually I would change this, but I'll get to that in a second. 48 into Tumbling, 34 into Shadow Ward. I would actually take all the points out of Shadow Ward, and I would put all these into... well, I'd spread them out actually over to 3. So we would raise this to here, raise this to 63. So this is going to put us at 30%. I was testing something out earlier, and I forgot to set them back to normal. Actually, even while I was playing too. And then I would put, let's see here, 19 into here, and then 1 into Siphoner. So it would be like this. 27, 64, and then you'd have 63. So this put us at 30%. And then into roll dodge, so it's up to you. You can put them however you'd like. For our blue tree, we have 72 into Master at Arms for that direct damage attack, and then 31 into Thaumaturge. You can actually increase this if you want, but I found overall this worked best for CP for the damage, but you can mess with it if you'd like and put more points into whatever you would feel more comfortable with. This is just how I ran it. 51 into Precise Strikes, 52 into Piercing, and then 64 into Mighty. Then I have 72 into Ironclad, 29 into Resistance, 48 into Thick Skin for those damage over time effects that people put on us too, and 49 into Hardy, 49 into Elemental Defender, and then 23 into Quick Recovery just for some extra healing that we can get. And that's it for the champion points. I think that's everything, and if I missed anything, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer everyone's questions. This build's a lot of fun. I suggest trying it, or at least checking it out. Give it a go. It's not the easiest in the beginning, but it takes a little bit of time and effort to get it down, but it is really fun once you get it down, and it's got good survivability with a lot of damage. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Take out the level 599, yeah, easily. Bro, they're so bad. They can't get I'm gonna go get that guy.
Bye.